everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Smelly 1977, and it's friend chat time. So I am Smurfy, and this is
Mr. Smelly, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, Claire's in charge today. I've given her the main presenter role. So yeah, great to be back. I did an episode a week or so ago, and it's good to be doing or it was 2 weeks ago now. No, only a week ago. And today, what are we talking about?
So today we are talking about Bortnikov.
And that is a Russian fragrance company, or the gentleman behind it is Russian.
Yeah, I think they're based in Thailand.
Okay. Before we do that, there was another thing that we wanted to talk about.
So we felt that we really need to talk about Jeremy because we haven't done for a little while.
Getting withdrawal symptoms,
His new fragrance is finally out.
Yes, The Office for Men.
The Office for Men,
From Fragrance One is the official.
Yeah, Fragrance One, Office for Men.
Yeah. And it's the people who've pre-ordered it they've been delivered.
Yeah, I think it's gone out to, I think the German people have now received it.
Right.
And it will be on its way to other people internationally. So we've seen one unboxing video on YouTube from, I think, a subscriber of Jeremy's, not a reviewer as such.
I think it might have been one of his first ever videos.
Yeah.
And he did, and it didn't. I think he was German, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he did it in English, and then he also talked about it in German at the end of the video as well.
So he unboxed it, he showed us what it looked like, and the bottle we thought was very plain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it came in a very, I mean, we're not trying to knock on Jeremy, as you know, I'm quite pro Jeremy, but it came in a very simple cardboard box.
Yeah, it looked really plain and simple, and it just didn't look very. Sometimes simplicity is really nice if it's carried out really well.
Yes.
Like, it still looks good, but it didn't. Unfortunately, it looked very, very plain. Sort of the font of the writing didn't look that luxury at all.
No.
Even the box itself came in a bigger box with no outer wrapping, no bubble wrap. So it must have been shaking
Unless
around.
had he already taken?
He confirmed in the comments.
Oh, that's actually how it
came.
came.
It didn't have any bubble wrap or anything. So, I mean, I know he's just starting out, but you would have thought, that he would have.
Well, considering these people spent quite a lot to get that.
Yeah, it was 120 euros, I think, for that original.
Yeah, that
batch.
Sounds roughly correct. Yeah, and it didn't have a lid either, so it was
it
just
had
no
a little
lid.
toilet roll for the packaging. A little mini toilet roll, like a Smurf toilet roll.
Yeah, a Smurf's toilet roll.
A Smurf's toilet
for the
roll,
lid.
And that was just to sort of stop it from spraying itself while it was rolling around in the box.
Yeah, so that it didn't look like a very luxury niche product at all, and the smell was simply described as lemon, soapy, and powdery.
Yeah.
So if anyone's out there has tried it or has bought it, please let us know in the comments if you've actually smelled it or tried you have the bottle and what you think about it, or if you've watched any videos. Which by the time we upload this, maybe there might
be
a couple more videos.
Reviews.
So
I am actually really quite keen to try it. I will give my honest opinion.
Yes.
I will do my best to be completely unbiased. But I would like to smell it and just see what it really is like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I'm not that excited to try it. Curious. But
expectations are low. I would love to have those disproven and actually, find out that it is something a little bit more special. But I mean, the fact that Jeremy himself says it's going to be mass appealing.
Yeah.
Says to me it's going to smell like a lot of men's designer fragrances, which generally don't excite me that much.
You would assume it will be safe. Yeah. Okay, so let us know in the comments below what you think about Jeremy's fragrance being out, and particularly if you tried it, we'd love to know.
Yeah.
Moving on then from that subject, we'll go for slightly more elevated matters, because we're now looking at some fragrances that we received after I reached out to them very kindly from the house of Bortnikov. And they came in a lovely box like this. So
this is the sort of velvet covered box the samples come in, and then this lovely purple drawstring bag, and then there were 3 samples in there, and they also include a card with all the notes,
which is great to have. So the company is the perfumer is a gentleman called Dmitry
Bortnikov.
Right, and he used to work with the man behind Arige Ladore.
Yes,
there was
Russian Adam,
who's known as Russian Adam, but they're now separate. this is
this is
line.
his own thing. Yeah.
Okay, and the prices, we've got 3 fragrances actually here. And they are Amber Cologne, which is 50ml bottle, and the price is $180. That's an eau de parfum strength. And the other 2, Musk Khabib and Oud Monarch.
You called it Musk Khabib earlier.
Yes. But apparently I've been corrected, and it's $350 for those, and those are 50ml.
That's US dollars, isn't it?
Yes, and they are extract de parfum, so they're stronger, hence the higher price.
So the amber one is EDP, and the Oud Monarch and Musk Khabib are extract.
So Claire's been playing with them a little bit more than me, and we've got them on cards, dry downs and fresher ones,
and
on
I've got
Claire's
some on skin.
So it's a first impressions actually, but we haven't just literally sprayed them 5 minutes ago. So
no, I wanted to spray them before you came onto the paper and onto my skin, so that we can smell them freshly sprayed and then with a bit of dry down. So because they do these kind of things with a high percentage of naturals do have a lot of development, a lot of changes. I think I'm not sure, but these might be all natural.
Ah, okay.
I think when I saw Nikhil talk about one of them, they were all natural, but whether all of these are all natural, I'm not sure, but they definitely do have a lot of naturals.
Yes, okay, and we'll come to the notes and therefore some of the ingredients which they're quite specific about. Which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with the lightest of them all.
I thought you might say that. That makes sense. This is Amber Cologne. There's the little sample that you get, and so this one we have on card and skin. Shall I just read the notes?
Yeah.
So Amber Cologne, top notes: bergamot, lemon, white and pink grapefruit, sweet orange, cardamom and frangipani. In the mid we have jasmine, sambac, Virginia cedarwood and sandalwood, and the base notes are grey and brown ambergris. Oud from Sri Lanka by Bortnikov, it says, and Booyah Oud and vanilla. So what do we think about this one?
So this is more freshly sprayed on my skin.
Lovely.
This is paper. I think it's very floral.
Yes.
And very citrusy.
Yes.
Both of us said, I'd already thought in my head,
independently of each other.
Yep,
Yes.
I'd already thought it reminds me a little bit of Guerlain terracotta, which does have a frangipani smell to it.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you said when you smelt it as well.
Exactly.
Not that it smells the same,
no,
but it definitely has something that reminds us of that.
Yes, that specific kind of frangipani
Exotic
and white floral,
island floral.
Yes, that kind of flavour that is achieved by its amongst other things. That one, terracotta, the eau de parfum, because there's the big makeup line, isn't there, or something?
Yeah, it's actually an eau de toilette, but it's called Le Parfum, which is confusing. But yeah,
a passing similarity to that. Other than that, then
you can definitely smell the citruses as well.
Really nice lemon in the opening, very very bright, very citrusy. Definitely jasmine to my nose. Yeah. Really, not very good at picking out specific notes, but I find jasmine leaps out at me, and it's as if I'm smelling a jasmine flower in going out for a meal in the evening. I think it blooms at night, doesn't it? So often, if you're lucky enough to be abroad where they have jasmine, you get that lovely smell. I really like that. And then what do we get? Because we've got cedarwood, amber. You mentioned that you thought the ambergris came through a bit as it develops.
This has been on longer there.
Oh, that's a really nice dry down, yeah.
And you just get a tiny bit of like a woodsy saltiness kind of thing. You still got all the florals going on.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more grounded. It's not just fresh citrus, fresh florals. It's a little bit more grounded with the slightly earthy.
Yep. Apparently there's some vanilla, and I definitely get that sort of musky, salty, nice skin scent. Not in a bad, not that it's weak necessarily, but that it becomes a part of your skin. Sometimes 3 or 4 hours in, the best things in the fragrances are happening, aren't they? And I get that on your skin.
I get nothing funky, nothing weird, nothing challenging whatsoever.
No, and we saw that there's oud, but we wouldn't have picked. I wouldn't have picked up on oud in a million years in that. Two types as well. I'm guessing,
and there's grey and brown ambergris as well. I'm guessing the ambergris is with quite a light touch, so it's just giving it a touch of this slightly earthy saltiness, but nothing weird, nothing hard to deal with.
Yep.
I think an everyday person on the street would wear that and be happy wearing that without thinking, oh, what, there's something weird going on in there.
Yeah, that's a very easy to like scent, and I think the others might have some more challenging elements to them. I thought it was really nice. The only thing I would say, if I was going to be critical, is obviously they're quite expensive niche fragrances, and there are a lot of beautiful, fresh floral fragrances out there. And unless you're a real perfume aficionado, you may be just as happy with some less expensive ones that are out there. We've only got a very small sample, so we haven't been able to sort of spray lavishly and wear it on holiday.
Before you can come to any conclusions, but
very high quality stuff.
Does smell really good.
Yeah. So impressed with that on first impressions?
Yes. Definitely.
What's next?
I think next we should go for Musk Kebab.
Yes, Musk Khabib.
Musk Khabib.
Or Habib, I don't know. So, that one, there it is. And we've got it on paper and on Claire's skin.
Is that the right bit of paper? We've mixed them up.
Soon know.
I think this is the Oud one. That's definitely the Oud one.
Pretty sure that... Oh, that's it, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot more jasmine from this one, like a really strong jasmine. I don't even think it's listed. No, it's ylang ylang.
Okay. Speaking of which, the notes are bergamot, cardamom, nutmeg, ylang ylang, cedarwood, tolu balsam, ambergris, deer musk, oak moss, vetiver tonka bean, and vanilla.
So I get a lot of ylang ylang from that.
Right.
Which I was initially mixing up with jasmine. But very, very ylang ylangy on my skin. You get a little more development there now.
I really like this one, as well as the ylang ylang, I also pick up a bit on what I think is coming from the tonka bean and the cardamom and nutmeg. I think it's that kind of creamy, milky thing that sometimes you get in them in the barbershop fragrances.
I know what you mean, actually.
Tell you what it reminds me of. It's Invasion Bar by MDCI a bit. And that is a compliment. I think it's the cardamom.
Yeah, it's probably cardamom. Because it's in Le Male as well, cardamom, isn't it?
I was going to say there's an element of Le Male-ishness about this. So if you like those slightly sweet neo barbershop scents, there's a bit of that going on here for me.
But there is quite a lot of ylang ylang in the opening. Right. I think that's calmed down a lot on my skin now. On the paper, the ylang ylang is very, very strong, and it reminds me of the ylang ylang in Chameleon by Zoologist.
Which is a real favourite of yours lately.
I love I love ylang ylang anyway. I love Chameleon. I wore that last night when I was sitting in watching telly.
Wasted.
Like I sprayed loads as well. I loved it. A lot of ylang ylang. If you don't know what ylang ylang smells like, it's a yellow floral. You can buy the essential oil in most sort of what do you call it? What Holland and Barrett type stores.
Health shops.
Yeah, health shops.
Health food shops.
Health shops and sort of spiritual shops, that kind of thing.
I don't go in them.
No, I know.
Wasted. You
can, if you need to smell what ylang ylang is and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's a very exotic, sweet, heady yellow floral. It's sort of bright and creamy, and it's used quite often in spas. If you go and get treatments in spas, they'll send some of their products with ylang ylang.
Okay.
Because it's a very calming, balancing aromatherapy fragrance.
Right. It's a while since I went for an aromatherapy treatment session in a spa.
How long?
Never.
42 years.
But yeah, if anyone else has, they might know what that meant. But yeah, that's interesting. And do you also think they've probably, perhaps we should have checked, but deer musk, is it real deer musk? Because I think the Russians...
I don't think they'd call it deer musk if it wasn't.
I think Russians have access to real deer musk.
Yeah, there's an illegal, there's a legal amount that I think they're allowed to, or they're allowed to cull certain amount of deers.
I think they are for the production of deer musk.
Yeah.
Animal rights people, we are not necessarily advocating or condemning that either.
I'm hoping that they're using the deer for other reasons, not just the musk.
Yeah.
If they are killing them purely for the musk, then I'm not very happy about that.
No.
But if they're eating them or using the hinds or whatever, what do you call it? using up their skin.
Exactly,
their
yeah.
hinds.
They're hinds.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to use their hinds for, it's up to them. But we don't know the ethics of that. But anyway, it is certainly a rare thing to have a fragrance with real deer musk, and intriguing. And certainly there is a muskiness and a very beautiful. I love this fragrance. It's my favourite of the three actually so far.
But so when we smelt the Original Adores, the ones that had deer musk in, I got a bit of a meaty smell from.
Right.
I'm not getting that with this.
No.
So I feel like it's probably used with a lighter touch, and it's just giving it a musky, fuzzy warmth that's not quite leathery, but just hinting towards that.
It's some of those Original Adore were quite funky and potent and perhaps challenging. These are very, very beautiful, but maybe a touch less so. Not so challenging.
Yeah, I'd say these are more. I could wear these two fragrances happily, and I feel like most people, if you like florals, or most people would be okay wearing those. Normal everyday people that aren't into fragrances would be okay with those two fragrances. The Oud one will come to.
Yes.
But I think that my mum would smell that and say, "Oh, that smells quite nice."
One more.
And my mum just wears normal fragrances.
I really enjoy something about the kind of creamy, musky combination with what must be the ylang ylang. Little bit of a sweetness, but it's not a very, very, very sweet fragrance. But it's got very comforting, cozy kind of qualities. I would call it unisex.
Yeah, and
undoubtedly
something a little mysterious about it. Like you're not going to smell like anybody else.
Not quite, no.
But you don't smell weird and strange either.
Very wearable, but definitely a very niche smell.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, and only problem with these small samples is we'd like to go for it a bit more and give them a good heavy wearing.
Yeah, you feel like you don't want to sort of use it all up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then you're not necessarily doing it justice in a review if you don't go heavy and give it a proper wearing. This is the
reservation with using samples. So we'll call it first impressions as our caveat there. I think that's the word, isn't it? Okay.
Next one.
We're up for the Oud Monarch.
Yes.
All right. So this would probably have Claire running for the hills from the name. But you're getting a bit more brave about Oud lately, aren't you?
I'm finding that the fragrances with natural oud seem to work better for me than the ouds I smell by more Western companies.
Yeah. Okay. You could become an oud snob and connoisseur. You could do a term 360.
Can you imagine it?
Okay.
So one end we sprayed. I sprayed a good couple of hours ago. The other end we've just recently sprayed.
Shall I tell them the notes? So we've got in the top Magnolia and Frangipani. In the mid we have Rose de Mai and Himalayan Rose and Cinnamon and Tobacco. And in the base we have Oud Monarch, Oud Ko Chang, Feel Oud, Cacao, Civet, Castoreum, Labdanum and Vanilla. So 2 types of oud and some other animalic kind of funky notes in there. But it doesn't smell mega animalic.
So that's your more fresher one. And when you first apply it, it's a bit medicinal and a little more funky.
Right.
So I don't actually pick up, it says top notes of Frangipani.
Yep.
You smell the other end, that's at least 2 hours old. That's where I pick up more florals because I feel like the funky stuff is overtaking it in the opening.
Right.
And I feel the florals have come through.
I agree that smells much less funky than the first bit, which you might not expect.
So it's almost like the oud is stronger in the opening and maybe the civet, and actually it's further in it's almost like the notes listed are upside down in how we're smelling it on the paper, that is, of course. I've not put this one on skin because I was a bit nervous with the oud, but I
also pick up on a very nice rose note. And I don't think it's a very obvious typical rose oud combination that some people are very used to, but it does have rose and oud, and it smells really good. You wonder, it's probably very high quality rose note, Rose de Mai. They clearly pride themselves on their natural ingredients, so we're probably getting some really good quality rose in there.
And the woodsiness, which I guess comes from the oud, is really nice actually.
So, Oud Monarch, where does that sit in your how much you like them?
I would need to test it on skin.
Okay.
I'm not keen on the opening just because it's a bit medicinal and a little bit funky. But I think when you smell that dry down, certainly on the paper, it's actually quite beautiful.
Okay.
So
good. Well, it's great for you to like one with oud in it.
Yeah, I was afraid of it.
Nothing to be afraid of there. Very, very nice. All of them very well balanced and certainly high quality smelling, but definitely approachable for the average person as well, which is good.
I think there would be if Orige L'Adore is on one step, I would say they're on another step on the lead up to Orige L'Adore. Not in that they're not as good as, but they're easier to understand from someone, from my perspective, or your perspective, who's not really into the proper ouds, and
absolutely
they feel more smoother, like the transition between the way that they smell when you first spray them to how they change. That transition is very, very smooth. And I feel like the Orige L'Adore, like the Musk, what was it, Oud Monarch? The rose one.
Yes,
the rose one,
which I love,
which is beautiful, but it was more chunky.
Yes, and in your face.
The
overall smells are a bit like, which is great, but you may not want that necessarily in something you're going to wear every day.
You could wear these to work. You could wear them out with friends. You could wear them around children. They're not that weird. Maybe the oud one, you might want to give it half an hour before you leave the house.
Very, very high quality, beautiful, delicate blends, very sophisticated. I think we would definitely both agree that it would take more wearings and time. So first impression perhaps doesn't do these full justice.
No, it's almost unfair.
Yes.
Really, but we wanted to. You were coming over anyway to drop something off, and these arrived today, so we thought we'd just give our impressions. They're not, we're not expecting anyone to blind buy based on what we say, and but hopefully they sound interesting enough that people might, if they're leaning that way and wanting to explore this kind of fragrance, they might want to consider getting some samples and seeing what they think.
Very intriguing and beautiful fragrances. There's the logo and the little box thingy that they come in.
The reason I first said to you I really want to smell these is just because how much I love the bottles.
Oh, you shallow person.
I'm so shallow, but the bottles kept showing up on my Instagram.
Oh, okay. Hopefully I've put some bottle pictures in the video, and we do love a good presentation, don't we? They're not sort of over the. Yeah, they are, aren't they?
But they have this gold plate, and I think I like the italic, the actual. Font that they use. It's just very aesthetically pleasing to me. I would rather have a bottle that looks like that than, say, a Roger Dove with all the crystals and that. It's a bit too blingy.
Yes, perhaps I can see your point there. All right, so definitely a really, really high quality house that's been getting some good talk, and we've loved trying them in these first impressions. Sweetie seems to realise it's the end of the video. Are you going to come and say hello? Or goodbye? Come on. Here we go.
Come on in, sweetie. Come this way.
There she goes.
You're going to talk? Where are you? Come here. Sit. Come on in. Do you want to get in the video? Come on, my little angel. Let's have a look. Here she is. Look at the lens finder. There it is. Look there. Say goodbye, sweetie. Give everyone a little wave. Hi, everybody.
Just like old times. So Sweetie is well and happy, as you can see, and if you want to see more of Sweetie, check out Claire's channel. One brief other thing then, and thanks for sticking with us to the end. Claire has got a new service that she's offering, which is just in its infancy, but I think is very exciting.
Thank you.
And has huge potential. And I can tell you from personal experience that Claire is hugely knowledgeable about fragrances and has honestly taught me a lot. As you may see in the video, she's rather better than me at picking out notes and things. And so the new fragrance is a fragrance consultancy.
Yes, so I'm going to be offering a fragrance consultancy. So for people that maybe don't have time or don't quite know what they like, I can help them in finding the perfect fragrance, whether it be for their wedding day or something big, or whether it be just building a wardrobe. And the other thing I'm doing is personalised videos. So for quite a small price, I'll do almost like a fragrance consultancy, but in the form of a video. So you can say to me, what are 5 fragrances I should be considering for summer, and I like this, this and this, and then I can present you in a video those choices.
Sounds brilliant.
I recommend.
So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link to the Facebook.
At the moment,
yeah.
I've just got a Facebook page for it. Looking to build a website soon.
Well, we'll keep you updated on that. So for now, I'll put the link to the Facebook, and who knows, you could be one of the earliest customers. Before,
Yes.
I'm sure prices will then skyrocket in the future. So get in there fast while you can. And yeah, really good idea. And as I say, I can testify to Claire's expertise.
Oh, thanks.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in the next Frank Chat episode and in the other stuff on both our channels, which is ongoing as ever.
Yep. So remember, whatever we're doing in life, let's project.
Bye.